Ski here, and today is 25th of February. There is a rise in the IIIT campus, and today is really special because majority all the speakers there are my professor in a digital society. I'm so excited for that, although I come a bit late, but yeah, so here we are. The weather these days is like are pretty great, and I guess there are some people from outside the campus coming for attending the seminar. Because there are a bunch of buses here. Oh my god, it's been ages I'm not creating any vlog like this. So the venue is in the Auditorium of Ramanujan. And we'll be taking lift. Oh. Okay, here we are. Right now I'm still inside the lift. Okay, here we are. Wow. We got this. So there are a bunch of people here. Wow, they have coffee break over there. So let's see what's inside. The size of Okay, we're here. Looking for.
So you are wanted experiencing the revolution, experiencing the thing that we make, because there were no students with posters. Then maybe you can just check whether he is there.
Yeah. I'm great, thanks.
Everything should be written in such a way that it is easily readable for a non-specialist who want to explore the area. That was basically the motivation.
Am I audible? Yeah. So I got my PhD and did my dissertation on a department that was interdisciplinary. So for me, it was not actually such an obvious choice that what I'll do would be a book. But over time, as I started doing my research, I felt like intuitively felt like the best form, and maybe when we talk more about what we wrote about, it will make more sense. But because the kind of research I do involves long-term ethnographic observation, etc., they don't really lend themselves as well to papers, and putting it together as a book seemed more coherent, seemed to make more sense. Of course, like Vidisha pointed out, different disciplines do value different types of output. So book, in general in the social sciences, is considered a very valuable output. So I'm sure that was somewhere there in the back of my mind, but my specific research project also drove me to do this. A third reason, and I think this has more to do with where you end up publishing, I was very keen that the work I do, which is at the intersection of technology and society as it were, was something that I did want people who are not social scientists to also read. So that sort of influenced what venue I picked, and maybe we can talk about that later. But those were a few of my reasons.
Okay, so some of the reasons that Janaki gave apply to me too. In my case, I also come from a very interdisciplinary background, and I also realized after having spent more than a decade publishing, first of all, when you're doing interdisciplinary work, it's very hard to, it's not very easy at least, to find outlets that will publish your work, because you're then more often than not speaking to certain disciplinary priorities and biases, and saying that this transcends boundaries, etc., doesn't easily go across or sell with either editors or reviewers primarily. It can be quite a challenge, right? Now that's one side, one reason why I was, when I decided to sort of say that I needed to get a book out. The second is that this book was based on research that I've been doing over maybe 6-7 years, and the idea is that, see, when you sort of have this sort of accumulated research over a period of time, I think it's also useful to think about it, reflect on it, and then do a sort of a elaboration of ideas, which I think journal articles will never ever permit you, because there are word limitations, space limitations, and other constraints, right? So the research, of course, that I did, assuming I could have published it in journals, might have got me about a half a dozen or more journals, which keeps sort of the, shall we say, the bean counters happy. But then the idea is, but if you wanted to sort of synthesize ideas, develop them more, across a single sort of publication, I think the book made most sense. And I'm actually glad I wrote that. Okay, it was an awful lot of work. It was an awful lot of work because it was 200 plus pages or close to 250 pages, and making sure it all hangs together is quite a journey. Very sort of fulfilling one, but nevertheless a lot of hard work, and it's about elaborating ideas, putting them together, and so that you're then not constrained by saying, I'm going to please this discipline or that discipline, and I can actually freely sort of explore ideas that traverse disciplines and actually speaks to this whole notion of interdisciplinarity, which we all love to talk about, but often find it hard to quote unquote, so let's say implement or do on the ground. Yeah.
So I'm going outside. I thought there would be like a coffee break, but everything is already over. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and see you on my other video. Have a